early 2018, I think it was, where I was just thinking about where we as a church are going, that pretty much just the idea of taking the cost of renting a school hall and the cost of renting our church office, and by adding 10% to that, would that then get us into a place that we could have 24/7? We began to look in the marketplace, and we thought our affordability, the size that we needed. Quite a few months after that time, an agent got a hold of us and said, hey, there's a property down over here at Eden Terrace, and it's way outside your scope in terms of size. It's pretty much double what you're looking for, but it's at a really good price. And we stepped into this massive concrete box to, okay, what's going on? And the more we thought about it, the more really a sense of God was coming into the mix, because the owners were incredibly generous. But they said, hey, we'd like you to have the mezzanine floor and the top floor as well.
When I first came and saw the building, it was really exciting actually. Quite daunting, a big space. But I could see that, as was described to me, what could be done to use, and that was just an amazing blessing.
I remember it really dropped in my spirit, that meeting we had at Wellesley Street office, where he had come with a concept plan, and for the first time we're able to see an auditorium with hundreds of chairs, and you could see a space for the children and the cafe and the flow and the layout at night. That really became exciting. It was a definite pickup in terms of or believability. Oh, this is God, this could work. And it felt like a real big step of faith. But I felt in my spirit that it was time. It was time to establish a home. If you think about Joshua in the Bible, or David and Goliath, Peter stepped out of the boat and walked. All those beautiful stories, there was a strong sense in my heart that it was time to do something radical for Jesus. There were two distinct moments that if X amount of money was not in the bank within 24 hours, we were going to have to negotiate with our debtors.
I remember us having an impromptu meeting on a footpath in Brisbane, having had a call that, right, we need to really pray because God needs to come through at this time.
One of the major factors to our timeline and our cost was the council, the Auckland City Council, and that's challenging. You think you've got it, but then when the goalposts keep getting moved, it caused delay and extra cost. I mean, tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it was very faith-stretching at times, but God came through for us many times, financially particularly. Very last moment sometimes, last minute, but we've done a lot of growing. Along
the way, that God was with us, and we needed to rely on that sometimes when times got really tough, when bills had to be paid and you only had so much in the bank. So in June 2018, we got a prophetic word from Pastor Larry Matsuwaki, which Pastor Larry would not have known it then.
You are entering the greatest season of the church. It's the time to build. It's the time to build lives. It's the time to build in the community. The building may seem overwhelming. The cost may be huge. But remember, is there anything too hard for God? Get ready, for the harvest is coming.
And so this echoes our heart that it's not just for convenience, but it's about the harvest that's coming. Throughout the journey, it became quite clear to me that God wasn't just building a physical building, He was building us as a church. He was increasing our capacity to handle thousands and hundreds and thousands of more people. We have worked our way through it, pulled the team together. We've had stresses and strains, and whether it's tradies and payments and our primary contractor, volunteers, just all of those components working together. So there was a time one Sunday that we had our service at Auckland Girls, and we invited the church over here. It was a big concrete box. People came in, we had a few projectors around the place, kind of projecting images to show what could be, just raw vision. And I remember standing over here somewhere on a little two-step ladder, and everyone was in a circle and just shouting and hollering because the echo was so bad. It was hard to hear each other.
Yeah, it was very special actually, and I think that then birthed the labour force that was needed to actually take on the project. You know, there's something to be said for participating in something that it brings buy-in and makes people own it. And people gave a lot of their time.
We've also been incredibly blessed by other churches. All of our chairs in the main auditorium were given to us by another church. We received 3 truckloads of furniture from a big church in Auckland City. We totally see God's hand in the vision. It's totally happening. People are hanging around and enjoying catch-ups. Parents and kids can come together in this cafe space. We've got a home for youth. Karaka nights wouldn't happen if we didn't have this facility. So bringing it all together under one roof and calling it our place is incredible. It's beautiful. That's the consistent message from these people. We feel peace, we feel God's presence, we feel welcome, we feel accepted. That's exactly what we want. We put a stake in the ground and say, this is where we are, we have a home, and we're going nowhere. And in fact, we're going to advance and see more students, more families, more couples, more singles, more people, more nations get saved, get added to the church, get baptized, more services to start, more church plants to do.